And we are back on the back story. And on the radio in DC, 105.5 FM, AM 90. Joining us now from Moscow, Russia, great friend of the show, journalist, writer, Sonia Van Den End. Sonia, how you?
Hi, Lee. I'm fine, thanks. Just been back from St. Petersburg, but I'm fine, thanks.
So, first off, we have in world news, were you following the Turkey election at all?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was. Yes. It's important, huh? For Russia.
So it seems like it's going to a runoff, and Erdogan won, but did not get 50%. He got just under, so it's going to go to a runoff. And some people are saying that his opponents will gang up on him, but I don't think so. I think Erdogan's going to win. I think Erdogan will now win this runoff because he controls the media, right? And he did worse than he usually does, but not that bad. So what do you think, Sonia? Who will win the runoff? Erdogan
I think Erdogan will win because also a large majority in Europe, especially in Germany, but also I heard in the Netherlands, because they could vote there, the Turkish people, they all voted, well, at least 2/3 of the people voted in favor of Erdogan. So, but also in Turkey, I think, I think he will win because the other party, that's the opposition party, that's a large majority are Kurdish people, a Kurdish party. I remember I saw the head once in the Netherlands, and not this guy, but another one. And it's mainly they are in the interest of the Kurdish people, but also they are pro-NATO and so on. And I don't think a lot of Turks are pro-NATO or even, because a lot of things happened with them, with NATO. And this position, what Turkey has now, actually they are right in the middle. They are not, they're like neutral, you can say. I mean, all the flights are still coming in through Turkey. Economically, they are very good now because of this thing, because Europe is not flying to Russia anymore, of course. So I think a lot of people, I think Erdogan will win. I think so. Yeah.
Now, so were you following what's going on in Pakistan with the recent arrest of Imran Khan? Were you seeing that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. It's been in there already for a long time. They all the time said he would be arrested, and finally they did it. And it's also foul play. I think it's U.S. again meddling in a lot of things around the world. They will not stop at anything to do regime change everywhere. And yeah, Pakistan unfortunately is also a country. Remember all the war on terror? Osama bin Laden was apparently hiding there in Tora Bora. So I think, yeah, it's the US. It's always meddling, and I think Pakistan with Imran Khan was not in support of the US anymore. So you get regime change. I mean, they try all the time, and this is what happened to him. And I think he's out of jail now, what I heard. But for how long, nobody knows, of course.
Yeah. Now, moving to Russia and Ukraine, it's a big period. A lot of big events happened over the weekend. So let's start with the bad news. Russia lost, I believe, 4 aircraft, 2 helicopters, and 2 planes in an attack in Russia. Is that right, Sonia?
Yes, at the border there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Unfortunately, it happened. Yeah, I think it was. I'm not sure, but I think could be drones, could be malfunction of the planes, but I suppose it was somehow drones from Ukraine, because they said they would attack inside Russia. So I think, yeah, the drones hit them, and it could be also an accident, because we are not clear for this, because I cannot verify this, and of course they will not open up things about what really happened at the battlefield. So, but let's say it was an accident, and yeah, that's what I think.
Well, I was going to say, I think whatever it was, it's also important, not important strategically. The outcome of the war is not going to depend on that. But there was an explosion in Western Ukraine, right? On the ammo dump. And that explosion, I think everyone's seen the video on Twitter or Telegram or wherever. Huge explosion. And a lot of weaponry, a lot of ammo was destroyed. Okay? That could have an impact on the war. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. It was in Khmelnytsky, close to Ternopil. That was in West Ukraine. And a lot of people and a lot of news outlets reported on it that there was a big gamma ray spike. And it said that inside these warehouses were the tanks with depleted uranium from the British. So yeah, that's a huge impact. I mean, of course, I'm not an expert on Ukrainian or uranium. I worked for International Atomic Energy Agency, but not as an uranium or not as a nuclear scientist. I was in the press there. So, but I mean, what I know is that uranium, depleted uranium, it's also very dangerous for the health. I don't know exactly if it's been blown up, if it's like that also. If it needs somehow a certain degrees of heat, then it's dangerous. It's what I heard, what I know. But when the wind comes and it will blow inside Germany or through the rest of Europe, I think you can see some increase of, yeah, maybe disease, or let's hope not. But yeah, this is what could happen. And I mean, what do you think? Russia is waiting and say, okay, that's full there of depleted uranium. It's full of other weapons from NATO. Well, we wait and see what happens. Maybe they're going to shoot at us. Well, I think Russia said, and they are not bluffing, that they said they would destroy it, and that is what they did. And this was a huge one this morning. So, and I think other warehouses as well were also destroyed, smaller ones. And this is very good because this now it's, I think, yeah, at least 500 million, maybe 1 billion euro or dollars in ammunition and weapons what has been destroyed today, so, or the last days. So this is actually very good, and indeed it could change the war. It could change everything, the conflict.
Well, yeah, I think one impact it could have is the big supposed spring counteroffensive that Ukraine's launching. There's a counteroffensive of sorts in Bakhmut right now, right? The Ukrainians are clearly trying to take territory back in Bakhmut, but it's not really a big offensive. And this could postpone that because it was a lot of ammo that would have been used in that offensive. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. And I mean, the whole Western media is going crazy about Prigozhin, about the offensive. And first of all, we don't know for sure what is really happening there. I know for sure that Bakhmut, this is what we all heard, Bakhmut, I think about 95%, it's in the hands of the Russians, still is. And I think Bakhmut is, yeah, at least 90% totally destroyed. This is also so. It's important, but not. I don't think it's really important. I think it's the important is that the Ukrainians are not coming inside the Donbass in all points where they can go in, and all the time we hear Zelensky on the social media, the regular media or the MSM saying that, oh, we have to wait for this offensive because we have a little bit of problems there, a little bit of problems there. So I doubt if there really is going to be a spring offensive now that these warehouses are destroyed. And of course, Scholz has said, oh, he's going to send a lot of ammunition, a lot of weapons, which is very shameful in the mouth of a German chancellor who, you know, his forefathers maybe fought in World War II and killed a lot of Russians. But okay, that's another story. But I mean, we hear this all the time, but of course, we don't know exactly what is going on, but I think if you delay it all the time and are saying, oh, yes, maybe a few more days, we need a few more weeks or a few more days, then I doubt if there is going to be a big offensive, a big spring offensive. We already have May. Next month is June, so we have summer. I think we have to wait, but I doubt it.
Yeah, but it does seem to me losing all that ammo. Again, if no one has seen it, if you miss it, it's a huge explosion. It's really gigantic, and to lose all that ammo has got to hurt them ability to launch the offensive at all. Sonia.
Yeah, that's what I think too, especially what happened today and what I said a few days ago, all the warehouses, and today, of course, this huge blow. I mean, if it really was full of with tanks for depleted ammunition and full with weapons, yeah, they don't have any weapons left anymore. And on top of that, it's what I heard, also soldiers. You know, there are a lot of videos going viral on Telegram and that a lot of cemeteries are full with Ukrainian soldiers, even mercenaries. So I doubt even if they have enough soldiers. And now I think they are very desperate. And this is maybe why they are asking for warplanes. You know, this is what what he's doing all the time. I think he is now in France asking for it. He asked in the Netherlands. He asked in Germany, because maybe this is the only solution for him to at least do something, because yeah, what I said, what you said, the ammunition, yeah, it's gone, nearly gone, and I doubt if he has enough soldiers left.
So you talked about Zelensky in Germany. That was very weird. It was weird because, of course, the German Nazis were friends with the Banderites, like Bandera, allied with them for a while. And you heard the Germans say "Slava Ukraine," which are Ukrainian nationalists, right? That was odd, was it not?
It was very weird. Did you saw the face of Scholz? If you look at his pictures in the news or you see him on TV or somehow, he looked, yeah, he was not happy with it. I could see that. But the most, weird thing, not weird, but to show that it's really true, he went to the Pope and he had his jumper on. I said that a few days ago also on RT. He had his jumper on, and on this jumper were these Nazi signs. And when he went to Germany, he had another jumper and only with the small Ukrainian flag. So, I mean, this is actually proof or evidence that he's really wearing Nazi symbols on his shirt. And the whole West is saying, oh, no, he's not Nazi, and Russia is making it up. And Mr. Putin is saying all the time he's Nazi. But it's true. So he changed it for the Germans. So, yeah, that says it all.
And I also think in denying the history, they're insulting the intelligence of people. But you know what is not believing it? I hear. What are you hearing about the people? I heard the German people are really not down with what their government is doing in Ukraine. It's very unpopular. Are you hearing that, Sonia?
Yes, and it's getting more by the day. First, it was maybe the older people or a lot of them from Eastern Germany, but now I see more and more on Twitter, on everywhere, that people are very ashamed of this government, that they are actually, yeah, they do it again. There's so much similarities with the Second World War, and this is, of course, shameful. It's terrible. It's criminal. I mean, what did they say after World War II? Never again. We will never do this again. This is why they, had the United Nations. This is why NATO was there. And they are doing it again after more than 80 years. They start again. And I think a lot of Germans, through their grandparents, still remember what happened. And this is something they should be ashamed of. And it's yeah, actually it's beyond words what the German government is doing. It's yeah, same with the Dutch one. I was very ashamed when Ratte it was standing there and saying Slava Ukrainia, and oh yes, for sure the next step will be F-16 fighter planes. So it's so shameful, it's so terrible what they do.
Now, also, Zelensky going to Europe to beg for money comes right after Trump's town hall on CNN. And Trump has been pointing out, it's his one point on Ukraine and Russia is look how little money the NATO countries have put towards Ukraine. And look how much the U.S. has put in. And I don't think it's not my argument, but factually, it's absolutely true. The U.S. has put in like multiple times, I don't know, 10, 20 times the amount all of NATO put in. So what do you think about that? What do you think about the fact that he has to go to NATO because the U.S. also, we're having a big budget battle right now in the U.S. Is the tap run dry on U.S. money for Ukraine for the time being? Do you think, Sonia?
I think so, because what you said, so much money has been poured in Ukraine, and NATO, yeah, I think, I don't know exactly how much, but not, of course, as much as the US. And I don't know what what the atmosphere is in the US. Are they getting sick and tired of this, money pumping in Ukraine? I mean, it's far away from the US, it's overseas. So maybe if you ask normal Americans, where is Ukraine? Maybe half of it don't even know where it is. And in Europe, it's a bit different. But what Trump said that time, that NATO should pay more, yeah, I think he's right in that. If they want to fight Russia, through Ukraine, the proxy war. So he was right. But of course, we don't know what Trump will do when he grabs the power again. I don't know. It's I hope if he will become the next president that he will stop everything and then at least sit down together and make some peace, and at least that is his effort what he should do. But if this Biden will be again president, I don't know what will happen.
You know, that brings up an interesting point that I'd like your opinion on, Sonia. I was saying last week, I was thinking about when this ends, okay? And I was thinking the best thing, I think, for the Ukrainian people, okay, is that they get a government that is pro-Russian, not anti-Russian. And Ukraine joins with Russia as a partner economically. And if that could happen, that would be, I think, the best possible outcome. The US CIA stopping influencing Ukraine, and Ukraine being able to get a, like I say, pro-Russian, I mean Ukrainian, but also not opposed to Russia, working with Russia. That would be, I think, really best for everybody. And I think Russia would want that too. What do you think Russia wants from what you've seen, Sonia, about the end game?
Of course, they want that. Of course, they want that was their aim at the beginning. That a good government would be there, chosen by the Ukrainian people themselves. But because Ukraine and Russia are like a brother or sister people, and so I mean, this is your brother at the other side, and you're making a fight with them. And this is how I think a lot of Russians feeling here in Russia. And this is why there was a lot of hesitation in the beginning to start this whole special military operation or to take part of it, which has changed now, of course. But it would be very good if there would be a pro-Russian government, or at least, they have some economic ties with each other, and at least stop stop the fighting, and don't listen to the US anymore, but become, more towards Russia. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope, I think everybody hopes, then the whole thing will be ending. But I think the split is there, like the Donbass, the new Russia now, it's pro-Russian. The other side, I don't know, I was not there, but I can imagine a lot of people fled already there. So I hope, but I think that what I heard, that's a little bit of a different culture there at the other side, and Poland has some aspirations there to make it a greater Poland. So maybe we see in the future half of it to Poland, and the other part, what is now Russia already. Maybe that's what it will be. But of course, we all hope that that it will be okay. And of course, there's another problem. The Baltic states, they are very fascist states, so has to be solved as well. But yeah, let's hope.
I got to thinking about that because, we have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. running for president over here, and he's talking a lot about the CIA lately. And I really think if he gets in, there's a possibility that he could end the CIA. And if the CIA is out of Ukraine, that's the main support for the Nazis, for the Banderites, and has been for decades. And George Soros, right?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't think the Ukrainian. Am I right, Sonia?
Yes, you are right. I mean, this is a long story already. In 1945, well, I think it was in Ukraine 44, Russia won the war from Germany in 1945, of course, we know that, 8th, 9th of May. But then Ukraine became communist, and all these fascists went underground, we can say, and some of them fled to the US, because, you know, a lot of them were in the US. The leader, Bandera, was killed by Russia in München. So, but after the communists fell, the communist regime fell, Ukraine, all the fascists from Ukraine came out again, you can say, from the underground. And they started this story all over again, and support from the CIA, like they did in Syria. They also support the wrong guys. So if they stop supporting, and indeed, when Robert Kennedy Jr., he was in Berlin, when was it, in 2020? That was during the COVID, but I think he's a good guy to, because he knows a lot. Of course, he's a Kennedy, and he's from the Kennedy clan, let's say. But I think he's a good Kennedy. I hope for the US that somebody like that will become president if he's not murdered, because, you know, all the Kennedys are apparently getting murdered by the CIA. But I hope that would be true. That would be great. The influence of the US in Europe will be gone. Let's hope.
And he's certainly raising a lot of talk about the CIA. For instance, Robert Kennedy's got people talking about the CIA more than I've heard anyone get people talking about the subject for a while. So I think that's great. Sonia, we know it's late there. Thanks so much. Another great appearance. Sonia Van Anen, thanks for being on the Backstory. Let's take a short break and we'll have more on the Backstory.
Thanks, Lee. Bye.